Hocus Pocus 2. This is my Hocus Pocus 2 review. Terrible movie. Hated it. Even whilst I was high, I hated it. That's how bad it was. Why does it... So... Right off the bat, we had a problem. Right off the bat, the movie... tried to seem young. No. Yes. Yes. It tried to seem young. But it was very obvious that it was not written by someone who is young. That's the That's the first problem. Because they try to use stupid jokes that they're like, so random. Or, wow, internet humor. But it doesn't work. It just does not work. So, what does it do? At one point, one of the characters is being made fun of for being a witch. So, in the middle of class, during a test, mind you, during a pop quiz, they're just like, the witch girl is just like saying a bunch of like Mexican food names to the boy that was making fun of her. Like, acting like it's a spell. And he freaks out. Oh my god, so random, so funny. Because he's like major himbo. And it's just like, eh. And then... How do I... There's just so much wrong with the movie. Okay, like... When the Sanderson sisters come back, it's very obvious that they're in a fucking sound studio. Like, the lighting is so bad. The background looks so bad. Oh my god. Oh my god, these Pikachu need to get out of my fucking way. What? Oh well. So, it looks like they're on a sound studio. And... No... Don't mean to be mean. But, they look old. They look very, very, very old. And they kind of ooze old energy when they're acting. To the point where they seem like they don't know what is happening. It seems like they were dressed in a costume and let loose on a soundstage. That is a problem. So you have low quality, like low product quality. Your actors look like they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Your other actors, at some point, at one point, I thought that the young actresses, I suppose, um, they seemed uncomfortable. And not... There's a difference between acting uncomfortable and looking genuinely uncomfortable. And they looked genuinely uncomfortable in a scene. What was the scene? It was like the mayor or whatever was like doing some random shit and talking like an old man telling a story, and he was just laughing like crazy, and I didn't really know what was happening, and it looked like the actresses also didn't really know what was happening and didn't know why this was supposed to be funny. So I felt lots of empathy with them. But the thing that broke me about the movie was like, yeah, sure, very bad quality in terms of lighting, sound design, writing, that sort of thing. But what really broke me was when they went to a fucking Walgreens. They went to a fucking Walgreens. And for like 20 minutes of the movie, they were in a Walgreens. What the fuck? Why? In what world would you need to spend 20 minutes in a fucking Walgreens in a movie about witches? Why? Why? Obviously, Walgreens paid out the ass to be product placed, because that's 20 minutes of the fucking movie, baby. At least it felt like 20 minutes. It might have been shorter than that, but, you know. Yo, fellow trader, there's no masking that aura of serious toughness around you and your Pokemon. Oops, sorry. I should introduce myself. My name's Flint. I'm one of the Pokemon League's Elite Four. I just had this idea. Maybe you could pull it off? It's about the city's gym leader. He's really lost his enthusiasm lately because there's been so few good challengers worth his time. He's so bored that he spends all his time renovating the gym. And then the blackout happened. That sure didn't help lift his mood. You know where I'm going with this, don't you? I need you to give him a battle that's so hot it will reignite his passion for battling. Come on, me and my boyfriend haven't had good sex in 3 years because of this. Help a brother out. I'm counting on you, hotshot. Yeah. I think it's canon that they're gay for each other, I'm gonna be honest. Because everyone, if you Google them, if you Google just one of them, if you Google Volkner, you'll come across, like, fan art of Flint and Volkner just making out, you know? The sexual tension. But yeah, so they were in fucking Walgreens for like 20 minutes. It was very lame. And instead of... How do I explain this nicely? Maybe I won't try to explain it nicely. So instead of the witches being just wicked and slightly dumb, they went to being not really wicked and extremely stupid. All of them. That's a problem. you can't have your villains, quote unquote, because honestly, they're not really the villains. Let's be real. But spoiler. So, if your villains are just completely stupid, what is the point? Because you know there's no way they're gonna win if they're just so stupid. Oh, there's chat up. But they're not stupid in, like, a normal sense. They're stupid in, like... Because they also have the air of being really freaking old, they seem like they're dementia-addled. They don't seem normal. It seems like elder abuse. That's basically what I'm getting at. The whole movie was just them recording elder abuse. That's my TED Talk. No. So yeah, that's where I'm at with the movie. I do not agree. I would never, ever, under any circumstances, call that a good movie. Because if a movie is boring and makes me laugh at how bad it is, I mean, that was the problem. The problem is that it was so bad that it got good. And I don't think they intended that. Like, I really don't think they intended that. So that's my review. My review is Horseshoe Theory. Got so bad that it got good. But yeah, so that just lost... It just made me lose all hope for the movie when they went to the Walgreens. It's like, wow, this movie isn't even taking itself seriously at this point. So I give up on it. And then the same thing happened. Well, okay, so the movie follows the plot beats of the original to a T. It shouldn't do that. Change it up. Because they have the same gag where, oh, they lost their brooms, they have to think of what to use, and they're in the Walgreens at the time, so one of them gets a normal, like, fake witch broom, the other one gets a fucking, like, Swiffer or whatever, and then the other one gets fucking Roombas and, like, skates with them in the air. It's like, you did the same thing. You literally did the same thing in the first movie, where it was a broom, a mop, and a vacuum. What the fuck? And I don't remember if they did it I don't remember if they did it, because I watched them back to back. But which is really good. Do that. Watch them back to back, and you will be so pissed off with the second movie if you do that. But I watched them back to back. And another plot point, I'm pretty sure, I don't quite remember, I was high, but I'm pretty sure another plot point was that you thought the movie was over. Because, like, everyone was defeated, you thought it was over. Nope. Still had, like, 30 minutes to go. So it's like, great, that's great. another terrible plot point was when they were trying to find where the book was, and it was just on a shelf. So the main character just goes through and looks at the books one by one for a solid, like, minute or two. And it just keeps cutting between the character looking at each book and then the book sweating, trying not to be found. And it's like, we all know she's gonna find the book. The witches are nowhere to be found right now. They're out of the picture. So there was literally nothing stopping her from finding the book. So why are you trying to make it all tense? Like, oh, will she find the book? Will the book be found? Oh, let's see. It's like, no, we know she's gonna find the book. And it went on too long. That scene went on too long for that. And when the movie started, like when we went, so it starts in the past, like the first movie, in Salem, you know, the past of Salem, whatever, which goes on way too long, honestly. It goes on way too fucking long. Like, I do not care. It was like a solid 20 minutes of this shit. But anyway. So we get out of the past, then we go to the actual movie. And during that, it just oozed, like, modern. To the point where I was just like, Gil, how long do you think until someone's gonna pull out an iPhone? How long? And he even agreed, it'll probably be like 3 minutes. Because you could just tell that that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to do that so fucking bad. That's just the kind of comedy that the movie had. Where it's like just relying on stuff that you could relate to instead of trying to make jokes. So it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And sure enough, they were taking selfies in the movie. The fucking witches were taking selfies. The witches took selfies. The witches ate lotion. The witches, like, did their stupid dance numbers again and singing. And made the whole town dance. Just like the first movie. It's uninspired. It's boomer and it's uninspired. Because honestly, it felt like a boomer wrote the fucking movie. It felt like every single shitty boomer movie that's come out recently, where it's just like, so random, see, we're young, we're hip, we're using the references. It's like, no, you're not. We see through you. It's awful. No one wants people to be FaceTiming in their movie. No one wants people to be taking selfies. No one wants people just referencing pop culture. We don't want that, you know? I don't know. It's just, that movie irritated me. Because I had such fond memories of Hocus Pocus 1. I haven't watched it since I was in, like, middle school. So I watched it last night, and I was like, this, you know, it's not the best, but it's a pretty spooky movie. It's, like, spooky and kooky. It's not spooky and comedy special. It's spooky and kooky. But the second movie tries to be comedy special first and foremost, with a layer of spook on it. But it doesn't even feel that spooky. Because honestly, the movie felt like it could have been filmed at any time of the fucking year. It did not feel like it was in the middle of October. Not even the middle. Sorry, it was Halloween. It didn't even feel like it was filmed at the end of fucking October. It didn't. That movie feels like I could watch it any time of the fucking year. Because it doesn't have an air of spook to it. Even Harry Potter has more of an October feel than Hocus Pocus 2 did. That's a problem. Because Harry Potter, people watch that shit all year round. But even that feels more October-y than Hocus Pocus 2. The only saving grace of that movie, honestly, which I wasn't really paying attention to at that point, so I don't quite know. So spoiler warning. Allegedly. It's either well, yeah, this is definitely a spoiler, so if you don't want to know, whatever, but it's a shit movie, don't watch it. So at the beginning of the movie, in the past, the Sanderson sisters were exiled from the village when they were, like, really young. They were, like, technically one of them was 16, she didn't look 16, but technically one of them was 16, the older one. They looked like they were 8. But anyway. So they get exiled, and they go into the woods. And in the woods, they find a witch that gives them their book. And the witch talks about how you're so lucky that you have your sisters, you know, your coven. And then one of the sisters says, "What happened to your coven?" "I lost them." You know, that sort of thing. So fast forward to, like, the very end of the movie. When they use a spell. Like the ultimate power spell or whatever. Ooh. You know, the one that they were warned not to use. But, you know, they were desperate, so they were going to use it. And they did use it. But because they used it, I don't quite remember, because, like I said, I was high. My understanding of what was happening from the context was that because they used the ultimate power spell, the sacrifice was the coven. So the redhead lost the other two. They died because of it. So I'm thinking, unless it was specifically stated, because I don't remember, I'm thinking that the original witch, at the beginning of the movie, lost her coven because she used the ultimate power spell. That was good. That was actually really fucking good. When I saw the other witches dying after they used that spell, I was just like, whoa, that was good writing. That was actually good writing. But, you know, didn't save the rest of the movie from being shit. "So, you're the latest challenger up against the Sunny Shore Gym? Alright, I've decided. If I find you to be weak, I'm gonna challenge the Pokemon League. I'm all done with renovating the gym, so I don't need to be here. More than anything, I want to have battles that can thrill me again. As the toughest gym leader in Sinnoh, I'm gonna unleash everything in my arsenal on you." Why is he hot? So yeah. That's just... What would I rate the movie? This is the real question here. Because I definitely don't think I should be rating it above a 4. Oh. Maybe, it's too hard. The glaringly bright and cool thing you have is undoubtedly a Poketch. That's awesome, yeah? Okay, so he's gonna give me... Oh, what? Pokemon with a serious nature. I don't think I have a Pokemon with a serious nature. Anyway, I think I'd give the movie... I don't have one on me. I'm sorry. I think I give it a 2. If that. Like, that's just how bad the movie was. Because at least... Because... You gotta take into account, also, that 1, it's a sequel. 2, it's made by Disney. 3, because it's made by Disney, it should have a lot of resources. Good. So it should be making a good movie. But it doesn't. They made a terrible movie. At least if it was like an independent studio, and they made a movie like that, it'd be rated a little bit better. It could be like a shit cult film. But, you know, it's not a shit cult film, it's just a shit film.